Hello survivors, welcome to another The Spell Brigade video. As you can see, straight into the action, we are actually on Endless level 4. That means this is our third time killing the boss. The first time you kill him, it goes to stage 2, and then the second time is 3, and now we've killed him a third time, which makes it go to 4. So this is going to be the fourth time killing him, and we've got a really interesting little bomb kind of build going off over here. We got astral orbs which split into many other orbs. We've got Hexbomb, which we're trying to get the split augment for, but we can't seem to be finding it. And then we've got magic missile with the explosions and splitting. And then I just landed up taking the falling star because there was nothing else better. There's no other ability that splits on hit with enemies, like Phantom Blade doesn't do it. None of the other skills have that splitting mechanic. So we've got 3 out of 3 of the skills that do splitting, and it just seems to be really fun, really cool to play with, and just something different and exciting. It's actually very difficult to sometimes get these weird and wonderful builds up and running because they do sometimes take a lot of time and effort. You know, you need 3 different skills and you can't re-roll skills in the game. So when you're trying to do something weird and wonderful like this, it can take a lot of tries. I managed to do it on, I think this was my second try. The first try I started with the Wizard King and we actually ended up dying, and I didn't even get the skills I wanted. And then I thought, well, let's just try using the very first character who starts off with the astral orbs original and see what happens. And we landed up getting all of the skills. Well, I mean, we got falling stars, and I was like, falling stars, and I was like, oh no, we're not going to get ourselves Hexbomb. And wham bam, Hexbomb showed up in the level up at the end. It was pretty clutch. The only thing is I have not found the Hexbomb splitting into other projectiles. I don't know if, how many times we have done an augment. Right now we have done a lot of objectives, and a lot of them have actually been to crush the statues. That's pretty weird. So we just got it again. I'm very thankful for that. As you can see, we've only got 1 life left anyway, so I don't want to really waste it on sealing a rift again like we've had to do on our first turn. However, I don't think any objective really matters right now with the amount of damage that we are dishing out. So it doesn't matter what we get, we should be able to complete it, especially in this time of the game. So we should have, if we got Seal the Rift, we would have been actually pretty happy with that, because you can see nothing is even close to us right now. It's a pity that when the Endless kind of restart the enemy round as well, it would be pretty cool to have all those high XP, high level enemies from the very start, so that we could get to an even higher number. Something cool about this is we'll just, next time we level up, we'll take a look at the stats. We did get over cap for dodge. The cap is 80%. We got 81% dodge rate. We got pretty decent critical strike chance, and also a lot of cooldown reduction, things like that. I can't find this last statue, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. It managed to die on its own. But now we're looking for Hexbomb. I've got 2 additional bounces. We don't want the additional bounce. We want it to split. And unfortunately, as you can see, we're not receiving it. So we're going to grab another bounce. So that's going to be 3 bounces on Hexbomb. Hopefully on the next objective, or, you know, at least we get 1 objective where it is going to be that it splits. And that's going to make Hexbomb completely insane. But as you can see right now, with the amount of times it bounces, we have Hexbomb up pretty much infinitely right now, especially with the cooldown reduction we have on it. So standing still, as soon as the one technically bounces the second time, we've got the next one up and available to go. So pretty good damage coming from Hexbomb as well. Another thing that we were very unlucky with is our infusions. We have Wildfire on Astral Orb. We've got a Venom on Magic Missile. We have sulfur acid and what is it, fire maybe? Yeah, we got acid and fire on our falling stars, and then we've got acid and lightning on our Hexbomb. So Hexbomb has an okay one, but it's Hexbomb. If we had the sulfur storm on any of the other abilities, we would have been clearing even faster than what we currently are. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much, but you know, not seeing lightning in, you know, how many infusions is that? We saw it in 1 out of 8 infusions. Is really, really unlucky. So it is what it is. Can't really complain, but it would have been nice to have had more lightning all over the place, especially when playing endless and dealing with all these enemies all over the place. So it is what it is, though. Pretty much going for damage. That is probably the best thing we could have gone. While we've leveled up, you can see we're on 1200 HP, 16 HP regen, 333 armor. So we did get armor per objective as well as armor per level, and then we got delayed fate for our the bounties. Damage is on 95, so it should go to 115. 39% cooldown. We haven't really seen a lot of Veil of Haste with 47 critical strike chance, but you can see quite a decent amount of XP gain. And then also our dodge is sitting at 81%, which is 1% over cap, because at 69% dodge we ended up getting a legendary one for 12%, which pushed us over the cap. So the theoretical limit is actually 91% dodge rating. That means you get to 79%, and then with a legendary dodge you can get to the 91%. And that's over cap. That's 11% over cap, and with 91%, already with 81%, it's quite difficult for us to die. Every time we get hit, it lands up saying dodged, or at least majority of the time, 81% of the time we dodge things. And it's actually really good for the surviving, especially on endless. We see the new enemies that were introduced last patch. I thought maybe they would have been on the Frozen Wastelands because it was like a Christmas patch. But unfortunately, even in that video that I did on that patch, we did say that, you know, Verdant, the Verdant Valley was the only one that didn't have the new monsters. So we were skeptical about it, but it turns out we were actually correct with them being in the new area. So pretty cool. Now each area has new enemies, which is really, really fun, really interesting to see. Very difficult to actually see where the enemy are when we're standing still doing these rifts. So luckily we've got quite a lot of clear. Like I mentioned, it really doesn't matter which objective we get. We're pretty much going to clear them all. Come on, Hexbomb, we don't want an additional bounce. We want you to split. Oh my gosh, it's not happening. Alright, let's magic missile split over here. It's just unfortunate that the ode to, you know, the French kiss, the chef's kiss, sorry. The chef kiss for this whole build is to get the Hexbomb to split, not to bounce more times. So the fact that we're not getting it is just really a little bit upsetting, but again, not much we can do about it. We did re-roll like we saw. We could have re-rolled again. We did have the laugh, maybe I should have, but it is what it is. Magic Missile does have explosions, so does the Falling Stars, and we just got to survive right now. Do the objectives, pick up as much XP as possible, and get that little bit stronger, because I think the boss is going to be really, really tanky. Last round we fought him, he had 500,000 HP. I'm thinking he should be on about 800k this round, or even on 1 million. It'll be interesting to see how they scale him. Alright, we've gotten to the point where we start seeing the healers and the tankier creatures. So that means we're going to start seeing more XP dropping, which means more levels for us. Lots of damage coming from our Hexbomb. At least if they do follow us, Hexbomb is going to do a lot of damage going forward. I do think it does less damage with every bounce though. I could be wrong. No, it doesn't. So that's pretty good. Alright, decreased cooldown for the Falling Stars is actually pretty good, especially since of the amount of damage it does and the explosions occurring. We're happy. We're happy. We do have both covenants on, so the endless and the anti-hit. So we're not worried about standing too close to Hexbomb. We're not worried about standing by these walls and having magic missile hit us and things like that. So you can see we can stand in the Hexbombs. We can stand by walls with magic missile. If we didn't have that covenant on, we probably would have just killed ourselves there, and we wouldn't have wanted that. So maybe just done damage to ourselves, but The rest of it doesn't matter so much. A little bit longer for the third objective. Once we get it, we should be fine. We were on 333 armor. We're on 344 now. We'll go to 345 as soon as we level up again. Maybe we can crack 100 levels. I don't think it's in it though. We don't have enough XP gain, unfortunately. But maybe there's still a chance next level we could get legendary XP gain. And then we're going to be in a good spot. So anything is possible right now in the game. Okay, we get increased cooldown reduction, legendary for falling stars. We will take that. Look at them flying down there. We do have 3 projectiles on the falling stars. If we do not get our Hexbomb, we will look for the falling stars upgrade, I guess, since this is probably dealing the most amount of damage in the game right now. So that's going to be something to focus on, I guess. I think we're pretty lucky in getting falling stars. Alright, Fungi, that's a pretty good objective to get. I have been having struggles with the Fungi recently. There's been a couple of times or rounds where the Fungi have not spawned very well. So it took me, maybe I had like 5 seconds left on the clock to find the final Fungi, but it could have been me just playing more than it being a bug or something like that. It just feels like it's very similar to that when we had the statues in the very beginning, where only 8 of them spawned, and you had to find all 8 of them, and a lot of people were missing them. Where now it feels like something's happened where you don't get as many fungi as you possibly can. But again, it can just be me missing them, not that they aren't spawning. But there is a very big map. Not very big, but a decent sized map, so you would think other parts of the map would have just as many. Only 2 more to go. This is what I was talking about. Okay, we did find them, but that was a good example where we had to go all the way to the other side and go back to where we were. We do get an additional chance. Let's just see if we can get the Hexbomb. Come on. No. Yes, we did actually get one. Projectile split into 2 on hit or on their final. Oh, that's so good. Now we're going to have so many projectiles going off with the Hexbombs. That is beautiful. Just look at the mess that it's making right there. Hopefully we can get 1 more of them, because that will just be the best thing ever. But as long as the Hex Bombs land up, what they're going to do is they triple bounce first, I guess. It says on hit or end of life. That's why I didn't want the triple bounce on it, but it is what it is. So they're going to triple bounce, and then they will split, and then I believe they triple bounce again. Yeah, so once we get them splitting again, that's all triple bounce, split, triple bounce, split again, and then triple bounce before disappearing. So that's a lot of bouncing. That's a lot of hex bombs on the screen at once, and hopefully it's going to show its damage for that, because just look over there, bam, it splits, and it's got the lightning on it as well, which means all the damage is being split between all of the enemies as well, and that's really good for the clear, especially when we're running away. Fantastic. I'm so glad we managed to find the augment for the skill. Okay, we do have a magnet over here. I guess we'll use it. We should be able to find more of them as we go. Not as much XP as I thought we would be getting, but let's go and reduce the cooldown of Hexbomb even more. So let's see, if I stand still, it's just over the first bounce, and then the next bounce comes out. So we could get that to be even stronger. We just need more cooldown. I wonder if we're able to throw one continuously all the time. How much damage would that do? What would that look like? it would probably be completely ridiculous. Alright, a lot of XP on the floor over here. As you can see, we do have another magnet like I thought we would get, so we're not too worried about that. Here's a good example of what it looks like, and then it bounces 3 times. Bam. Fantastic. It's just so nice to see. The sounds are a bit overwhelming, but that's alright, not the end of the world. Okay, we can go for base critical damage. That's going to increase the damage of everything, so I don't see why we shouldn't do that. We'll grab the magnet over here. Unfortunately, it wasn't another level, but it's close to it. And the next objective should be very, very soon. And hopefully we can pray that we... Oh, there we go. Very, very soon. Lands up being on our head. This one is a little bit more difficult because of how many enemies are spawned already and how difficult they are to kill. But because we did get a lot of the explosive enemies around us, we are able to, you know, just make it around. Let's just run around here quickly. Get back into the circle. Because as you can see, this side is pretty free. We do have a lot of dodge chance, but I would prefer not to get hit because we want to use the life for the re-rolling. So there we go, objective complete. Do we get another? Oh, it's an additional bounce. I think okay, we will re-roll once. There's a chance. There we go, fantastic. So the last 2 objectives gave us the perfect ending to the hex bombs. That is fantastic to see. And then they bounce, and then they split again, and then they bounce again. It's going to be a lot of hex bombs all over the place. This is just great. And we can just split them everywhere. Just make the screen hex bombs. The fact that you can do this. I've been wanting to do a Hexbomb run forever, but the problem is it does cause a lot of issues, and I can see why now, especially if you don't have that many bounces. Having all of the Hexbombs on the screen can certainly cause a lot of issues. So if we had to go even further into Endless, we would then see a lot more bouncing or a lot more you know, Hexbombs on the screen. And it has happened to a lot of people where it's caused crashes. And that probably would happen to us eventually as well. But we still unaffected right now. Audibly, we are effective. Like, there's a lot of audio clutter when you've got so many of all the skills happening. But it's not the end of the world. Astral Orb, we can actually... Yeah, we might as well do it. It's legendary. I was going to go for spell size on the Hex Bomb. But let's see, so if we just do that, that's going to be crazy. But we can do them in all directions because that's just so much more fun. I need to get to the area where I can see more of these happening. The most epic run for Endless. Okay, what do we get? We don't need the XP anymore. I guess we'll just go for cooldown reduction over there. We are gonna level again very, very soon, so it's not the end of the world. We do have another magnet right in front of us. We're gonna go for the cooldown reduction over there. So we are now sitting on 51% from just a Veil of Haste. I don't know how much each skill has cooldown reduction wise, but that's just going to multiply on top of it. So, I mean, just look at Falling Stars. Look at how many bombs we've got all over the place. It is fantastic. I can't see what's happening on my screen anymore. It's just so funny. Does the take us though? So we didn't dodge there and we got one tapped. That is not good at all. Boss is about to spawn though. We need to make sure that we don't dart these guys. They can be very dangerous if you aren't careful. But luckily everything else is pretty much dying. I don't know what happened there. We just got popped. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Let's go for even more cooldown reduction. I guess those guys we got walked into by the explodey bugs, and it just it wrecked our face. Even though we have a decent amount of armor, doesn't matter how much armor you have when you're playing Endless. If you get hit, you're pretty much going to get wrecked, because the enemies get stronger as time proceeds, you know, throughout the actual game. So enemies get stronger. The boss has 747. I did say 800,000, so that was a pretty good call, pretty good guess. And he is absolutely getting destroyed. But this is going to be our last round in the Endless. We will see if we are able to take a lethal hit to end it with courage, but otherwise we'll just destroy ourselves. If, you know, just Alt F4 the game. But I would like to get rid of ourselves rather, if at all possible. But a lot of damage coming through. We would have, you know, got rid of the boss already on the other difficulty, or on the other stage. He's already got less than 500,000 HP, which is what he had last time. So interesting. Dealing quite a decent chunk of damage with all of our abilities. Not as much as we can do, but it is what it is. Fantastic. So there we go. Let's run into the enemies. See. Oh, bam. Didn't even take that long. Oh, we got a revive again. Oh, no. Alright, we'll just, I'm sure we'll take a hit somewhere along the line. Even though we have 81% dodge. You can see definitely coming in handy over there. But there we go. Fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.